What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the PFF NFL show. That's Chadwick, Dalton, Wasserman, Trevor, Sikkema here once again with you guys on Radio Row here at the 2026 Scouting Combine, recapping another day of everything that we've seen and heard here in Indianapolis. We don't have the drills quite yet. They're starting on Thursday, which, by the way, we're going to have recap shows for you guys every Thursday. But still, more GMs, more coaches, more talk around the town on what could be with some of these team needs, moves around the NFL, and all that good stuff. Fellas, how we doing?
I'm doing good. We got a lot of player podiums today, which are always my favorite. Because always the coaches and GMs, a lot of coaches and GMs speak. These players sometimes are not as PR trained as those. Right. So you always get like some of the crazy quotes from these players that I love, and a lot of personality I saw from a lot of defensive linemen and linebackers today. So I love hearing from the players, and they did not disappoint today.
And that's really part of the fun of the Combine, right? It's the first time for these teams, and a lot of them for us, that we really get to know them, right?
Yes,
and you get to understand their intangibles.
A little
and what
piece
they're
of the personality for a lot of these guys.
Just a little bit, for as much as you can learn in basically 1 week or even less than that, right? And and there's obviously different approaches to how every front office goes about the intangible part of it, but it's definitely good to get to know these guys. We had defensive line and linebackers this morning, and it was a lot of fun to hear from some of the biggest names in this class.
We're going to talk about a lot of different things here on the shows. Some of the team needs that might have changed today as we learned a little bit and talked to a lot of people. Obviously, we'll talk some of the podium standouts that we had. We're also going to discuss some over-unders that have been released for the 40-yard dash for the first group of guys that are going to be running this upcoming over on Mac. We're going over on Mac. You didn't even hear the number.
No, I don't care.
Didn't even hear the number.
I don't care what the
number is. It's over.
You did the combine workout for Boomer Bust, right?
Yeah, I don't want to say my time.
Did it start with a 6?
It started with a 7.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened.
Man.
Now, listen, I did lose some pounds since then, though.
We're going to get the simulcast of you and Rich
That
Eisen.
was me, like 20 pounds heavier. I might be able to crack 6 now.
You're going to be behind Rich Eisen.
Definitely not in 5s. Definitely not in 5s.
Yeah, because Rich is sub 7.
He's in the 6s.
Yeah, he's in the 6s.
Yeah.
You got to run faster than Rich. He's doing it in a full suit.
That's tough.
That is tough.
I lost some pounds since then.
All right, okay.
All
right. The redemption arc is going to continue here for Max Chadwick, but we're not going to guess the over/under on his 40. We're going to guess the over/under on some of these other guys. But let's talk about a little bit of NFL news. And funny enough, this news broke like the second that our live stream ended yesterday, which I wish Adam Schefter would have tweeted this like 5 minutes earlier. Trent Williams, the offensive tackle for the San Francisco 49ers, one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. Of course, getting up there in age a little bit, but I believe, Dalton, you might be able to confirm this, the highest single-season offensive grade we've had from any player. What was it a couple of years ago?
Any player, not even offensive and defensive.
Back in 2021?
Yeah, 96.6.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, this is just – he's been one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. But the news is that contractually – they're not really close to a contract extension with him. He's not super happy. He wants to continue to move forward at the 49ers. But if there's a world where they have to cut Trent Williams, I mean,
that phrase feels wrong. That feels dirty to even say that. I don't like that.
I was going to ask you guys, like, what are some landing spots? But is it just all 31 NFL teams, or what's the conversation?
Pretty much. I mean, close to it. He's obviously at 38 years old, going to want to go to a contender, but we can think of a half dozen teams right now that would sign up in a heartbeat for him. I mean, you talk about Detroit and some of their questions at tackle. Now Taylor Decker's coming back. We'll get into that in a second.
Right.
So, why not say take a big swing like the Houston Texans? That would change the complexion of everything.
Immediately.
Everyone thinks Rasheed Walker's leaving the Packers this offseason, too. So, I mean, go to Green Bay. I think that'd be a great one, too.
Yep. I think that's a good landing spot.
What about
Chicago?
I was going to say, what about a pretty good stopgap, but what about a 1 year?
Steelers, maybe? Go with Aaron Rodgers over there?
Loving it.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what they think of Broderick Jones, right? Which, would you be comfortable giving Broderick Jones another year? It feels like they are.
Not if I can get Trent Williams.
That's fair.
I might consider tackle for them in this draft anyway and start. I'll tell you another one. This is the one scenario where I might be with some of the critics on, okay, let's move Will Campbell to guard. Even if only for
I mean, if you have the opportunity to do it, like, sure. I think it's an easy media thing to do, to be like, okay, we meant what we said about Will Campbell, but it's Trent freaking Williams.
Yeah, I think absolutely. He'll want to go to a contender, I think. So I think that will limit the teams down because he doesn't have a Super Bowl ring yet, obviously. Yet.
Right.
So Green Bay's a very good call there with their offensive line situation kind of in flux, and they've got to make some financial decisions. But Trent Williams is a guy, if he ever got on the open market, you move mountains to get that guy. Absolutely. Yeah. Still, even at 38 years old.
He was still the third highest graded tackle this past season, too.
What about Carolina?
Yes.
Ickey's going to be out the year. I mean, if you're signing Trent Williams to a 1-year deal, and you're Carolina, you're looking to build off of winning that division last year. I think that's a sneaky one if Trent Williams becomes a free agent.
Absolutely. I mean, realistically, any team in the league would love to have him, right? I mean, legitimately every team in the league, and there's not a team in the league he wouldn't make better.
Malik Willis, landing spots. Jordan Schultz tweeting out that it feels like it's consensus around the league. He's getting around $30 million a year. Now, we don't know whether that's a 2-year deal, a 1-year deal, a 3-year deal, who knows? But a $30 million per year average there for Malik Willis. I feel like it would be on the shorter end just because he has still showed flashes this year, but unproven. So an expensive maybe 1-year deal for him, but there's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks. So I think that's how you get to the point where that price tag is what it is. Any landing spots that you maybe like a little bit more than others for Malik Willis? And then what do you think about that number overall?
So the higher the number goes, the more it makes me think about the Arizona Cardinals because of some of the teams, and the two prime teams that I think about for Willis are Arizona and Miami. Miami, the connections obviously with John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley coming over from Green Bay. They have the connection. They don't have as much cap space as Arizona does. Both of them have huge quarterback needs, and we don't know how confident they might be in Ty Simpson, especially Arizona. They're not taking him 3rd overall. If Simpson were to fall into the 2nd round, they might do it at 34, but they're not taking a quarterback at 3. They're going to keep building this defense or maybe the offensive line. They need to find a quarterback externally, right? They have Jacoby Brissett there, as a bridge if they were to take a young quarterback. But I think the further up that we hear this number get to, I think Arizona is number 1 on the list. If not, in its connections, and maybe even takes a few million less to stay connected with Jeff Hafley, Miami. I think those are clearly the 2 teams that I would look at for Willis.
Do you agree with that,
I was
Max?
just going to say Miami. I think I was expecting like a Justin Fields type of contract where it's like 2 years, $40 million, and maybe 2 years, $60 million now for Malik Willis. So I think the Dolphins are probably my favorite landing spot for him right now, and probably where he's probably going to go. But I think Arizona's a great call too.
And I'll tell you, considering his rushing ability, we know he's a dynamic athlete. Him and Devon Achane in that backfield,
of course.
That's a pretty good start right there. And then you work on the
that.
offensive line maybe in this draft a little bit.
Do the Jets think about it?
I don't know that they want to get into another multi-year contract, right?
I think a veteran's coming in, but I don't really love Malik specifically for them just because if they're going to go veteran, I almost feel like they're going to take the biggest swing. Like either a massive swing or a somewhat smaller swing. So like Kirk Cousins is one, but like Kirk Cousins is one where you go very clearly this is a 1-year deal. It is a 1-year deal. That is it. We're totally turning the page to next season. Malik, you don't know. It's almost like that Justin Fields thing where you sign him to a 2-year deal and you go, hey, maybe it'll work out. So I almost feel like it's either a 1-year deal or you're taking the big swing for Kyler. Like, I don't really like any of the in-betweens there for the Jets.
Well, I think Kyler might be a more expensive 1-year deal and might be considered compared to some of the other names and, backups and guys we're talking about. But I think Kyler on a 1-year deal makes a lot of sense. Kyler's got to prove it for a year. He does.
You don't think that Kyler would get a multi-year deal?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't. I think Kyler Murray needs to take this year in another situation and go out there and play well and earn that, right?
Yeah.
I think he's
understandable.
lost a little bit of clout, in the league the last couple of years. And the injuries are a problem. You don't want to sign a guy with as many injuries as he has to a multi-year deal. And they just did the same thing with Justin Fields, and they're a little bit stuck with him in his situation this year anyway.
I think a fascinating one is, and they won't trade him in division, but Tua. I don't know what happens to Tua this offseason either. Now, if the Dolphins cut him pre-June 1, I believe it's like $99 million.
Well, it's not in division. You're thinking the Jets. You're mixing up.
I'm talking about the Jets. Yeah, the Jets with Tua talking about Loa too.
Oh, the Jets with Tua. I thought you were talking. Okay. I see.
But if he gets cut, he could go to the Jets. But I think if not, I don't know. That's one where I'm looking at Tua. Like, I don't know where Tua lands this offseason. He's not getting traded.
Tua to Frank Reich offense?
We have to remember, too, that there's a situation in Minnesota where they've been pretty open about wanting to find real competition and veteran competition for J.J. McCarthy.
And it feels like every veteran wants to go to Minnesota.
I don't blame him one bit, right?
I need Aaron Rodgers, dude. Just complete the Brett Favre career arc.
He's staying.
I just need him to complete the Brett Favre career arc and go to Minnesota.
He's not going to the
Vikings. Just give me more Jets trauma by the minute. But no, I mean, there's that situation in Minnesota for Kyler, for Tua. I think Tua can absolutely play on that offense. It's not that much different than before. It's not going to be as vertical. But, no, I think when you look at that situation in Minnesota, that's, like you mentioned, probably the most preferable one because there's an assumption going around right now, especially around here, that Daniel Jones is going to stay in Indianapolis, right? So Minnesota's not going to go down that road again. One of these quarterbacks is going to be competing with J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. That's been made pretty clear by their brass.
So Chris Ballard was talking at his podium session, and you sort of talked about it right there. Two of the major notable points is they would love to bring Alec Pierce back. and they're working to bring Alec Pierce back. And then Daniel Jones. They want to bring Daniel Jones back as well there. Your thoughts on Daniel Jones coming back to the Colts, sort of, does it change things at all? Did you feel like this was status quo for them? But what do you think about Jones coming back there?
I think being that they don't have a first-round pick in either of the next 2 years due to the Sauce Gardner trade, I think it makes sense. He's obviously familiar with the offense. He played well in this offense, and we have still yet to see any, enough out of Anthony Richardson or Riley Leonard to say, okay, that's the Colts starter, right?
Sure.
And it's just the easiest route to go, I think, for both sides. For Jones, not having to go back on the open market off a torn Achilles, and for the Colts going, okay, he knows the offense, and we have seen this work. Even if it was half a season, we've seen it work, and we need to really implement all of our resources to building the rest of this team. Can we keep Alec Pierce? If not, wide receivers a needs at all three levels of their defense, right? Right tackle, what are we doing there? So the Colts have a lot of things to figure out. It makes it a little easier for Chris Ballard this offseason if we just go, all right, we have Daniel, even if it's one more year, we're stalling on a long-term quarterback, but they got a lot of needs on that team if they want to make the postseason.
And I think that Indianapolis has no choice, right? Like, you have to be all in.
Yeah.
You just traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce. Yep. Like, there's no way around this. Like, the only other solution, I think, than signing Daniel Jones is signing Kyler, signing Tua, right? Like,
or signing and it's pretty much not a secret around here that it's probably Daniel Jones, but Malik Willis.
Yeah, right. Something, but like putting your foot on the gas in some way. That's the Colts are there for the next 2 years.
There's no point in tanking. There's 100%. No point in tanking for Indianapolis.
Yeah, which also, funny enough, I mean, kind of builds Chris Ballard 2 years, right? I mean, like, if you really don't have a good year the next year, I know that it's the owners kind of have said that he's a little bit on the hot seat. I know maybe not using those words specifically, but like that they got to win, that they got to make sure that they show some progress here. But at the same time, like, what are you going to fire him and then have a new GM and a coach come in and they don't have a first-round pick and they've got a bunch of all-in contracts? I don't know. I feel like this is a 2-year thing for the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, the question, too, is, and I think with so many veterans we've talked about already, is there a scenario where they bring in multiple guys on a 1-year deal and trade Anthony Richardson to somebody that might still believe in his ceiling or what have you, right? Could it still be a competition? And look, the question, too, is how healthy is Daniel Jones going to be coming off a torn Achilles, right? We've seen this with Kirk Cousins struggled his first year. Aaron Rodgers struggled his first year. I know Jones is younger than those two, obviously when he tore his, but it's not like he had a rocket of an arm anyway. And now if your lower body's compromised because of that, we don't necessarily know what he's going to look like, and even if it'll be as good as he was playing early last year.
Yeah.
Some thoughts on the Bears. Allowing Tremaine Edmonds to seek a trade. We figured that the linebacker spot was going to be sort of up for transition for them. Ryan Poles said that they wanted to get faster on defense, and anytime I hear that translation to me is you want to get younger at linebacker, right? I mean, corners are always fast. Safety is generally always fast. Defensive linemen, you're not really talking about them in that light. When you say we've got to get faster on defense, you mean your linebackers. So now, if they're allowing Tremaine Edmonds to seek a trade, I mean, you are truly just looking at totally rehauling that linebacker room. So do we think that this is a C.J. Allen on the board for them in the first round, or do we think that this is more of like a day 2, day 3 type of a linebacker?
I think this is a day 2 type of draft for Chicago. I think this is an excellent linebacker year this year. It's one of the best linebacker classes I can remember, honestly. So, yeah, you could take a C.J. Allen in the first round, and I would like that pick. But say if you take a Caden McDonald in the first round and then someone like Anthony Hill Jr., Jake Golday, or Jacob Rodriguez in the second or third round, that's a great strategy, I think, for Chicago. So I think this is such a good linebacker class that you don't have to force it in the first round of this draft.
It feels to me, between the DJ Moore news yesterday that they are possibly looking to trade him and now permitting Edmonds to go and seek a trade, which could end up leading to his release anyway. We'll see. It feels to me like they're taking salary cap space that's allocated at certain spots, like receiver and like linebacker, and I think especially reallocating it to the defensive line. I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're loading up to a run at a big-name pass rusher. I think Trey Hendrickson, obviously the relationship from New Orleans with Dennis Allen.
Sure.
Trey Hendrickson makes a ton of sense. I think the Bears should be right at the front of the line trying to get him, and they might just be trying to move some money around, either releasing or trading these two players to go and throw a bag at Hendrickson because they need that pass rusher alongside Montez Sweat, right? And you can get D tackles, run stoppers in this class. You
Right.
get linebackers in this class. Plus, you're going to have to figure out Kevin Byard, and there's not a single safety on their roster right now, so they have to figure that out,
Yes.
even with 1 or 2 veterans anyway, right? So I think it's just a reallocation of their salary cap space. I think there's a very good chance that I would almost guarantee that Edmonds is not going to be on the team. And I do
Sounds
think
like
there's
it.
a pretty darn good chance that DJ Moore is getting traded so they can have that cap space to move it to the defensive side of the ball.
DJ Moore and a first or a second round pick for Max Crosby. Who says no? Who says no? Who says no to that deal first, actually?
For a first, let's say a first. It's not going to be a
Yeah,
second.
yeah,
and
first.
it's
Okay,
gonna take a
yeah.
first.
Who says no to that deal first?
I think the Raiders.
I was going to say the Raiders.
Yeah, I think
They're going to ask for a
I need
lot for
I need a
Crosby.
little more. I think they're going to ask up front for a
But
Parsons.
you get the wide receiver that you're hoping to draft anyways. You get your wide receiver 1. And you get an extra first-round pick.
Possibly, or you just take one at 35, where they're picking in the
Yeah.
second round.
They're going to
I
want
mean,
2 ones, I think.
I don't think they're going to get 2 ones. I don't think they're getting 2 ones.
Then the question is, in their eyes, is DJ Moore worth? Is that the right?
I
one
know.
for them?
That's why I'm asking.
it
Who
really,
says no first? I don't
suppose-
think it's as easy as it's just, the Raiders.
If it's just a 1 in DJ, I think the Raiders say no first. I think they're looking for an absolute
I think
haul.
we're close, though. I think we're close.
Yeah, you're closer. If you add in
think
maybe
we're
another,
close.
if you added in maybe another third, and the Bears are fighting right now over trying to get extra third-round picks. So
Third.
I think so. They are going to want a Parsons-esque package. At least that's what they're going to ask for as a starting point.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have a ton of motivation to trade him. They have plenty of cap space.
Sure.
It's not a money thing.
Right.
He's in his prime. He's an elite player. You better blow them away with an offer, unless Crosby is so just not content with where he's at. But we did this with Miles.
Which he might be.
Didn't we do this with Myles Garrett last year?
Yeah,
and
but
then he got his money, and we were
it's
good.
true, but Max and look, money. Ian Rappaport was talking about this earlier this week. Like, money obviously makes things a lot easier to agree to and everything, but he's like, Max has made a lot of money. They've given him raises basically every other year. Like, he's made a lot of money. Money's not really the thing. It's kind of like it just comes down to, like, did he view last year as disrespect? Did he view last year as a disrespect for them to shut him down when he did not want to be shut down?
Then the person that may need to fix that then is Clint Kubiak, right? Because everything else is the same.
Yes.
John Spytek
Right.
still, and it may have been an
Right.
organizational decision,
Right.
But the person who would fix that is Clint Kubiak
agree.
coming in and going, hey, we're drafting Fernando. We know this,
Yeah.
right?
We're gonna win.
We'll have a quarterback.
Because he
We're gonna
wants to
soon."
win in Vegas.
And Crosby is
He wants to win in Vegas.
Crosby is the foundation player that you build on defense around. If they're taking
Totally.
Fernando first overall, where are they getting a foundational defensive player now? You're not going to replace Max Crosby that quickly, and I don't
No.
even think you're going to get it at 25 if you get that Bears pick.
I mean, obviously, I would agree with you. You're not getting Max Crosby at 25,
Right.
even though Max Crosby, was picked later anyways. But the point stands. I think it's just an interesting conversation. This is a team with the Bears that's looking to get better on the defensive line. They might be looking to move on from DJ Moore. Perhaps you are a first-round pick in DJ Moore away from a guy like Max Crosby, although I do like the Trey Hendrickson connection with him and Dennis Allen, obviously going back to their time in New Orleans. We're going to talk about some players that were at the podium here in a second, but before we do that, every week on Draft Risers, we highlight players climbing draft boards as teams get deeper into the evaluation process. There are guys that are rising because decision makers are getting more confident about their full profile, not just chasing the traits. We haven't seen these guys run yet. We haven't seen the athletic testing from them, but the more I hear about Sonny Styles, the more I just feel as though his stock is rising, the more exposure we get, whether it's more tape, whether it's the interviews, whether it's the podium session. It just feels like this is the guy. This is somebody who is, I think, rising. He's already been linebacker 1 in this class, but I really do think that he is rising into the top 5 consideration, maybe at number 5 overall to the New York Giants, who could potentially have that linebacker need. So he is our riser for today that we are talking about. When you are trying to identify risers like that, it's not about guessing. It's about having better tools, better data, and a better process. And that same approach applies when you are making decisions with your own money as well. If you want to make smarter picks with your portfolios, Tasty Trade gives you the advanced tools and data to do so. You can trade stocks, options, futures, and so much more all in one platform. Tasty Trade offers dozens of educational courses that you can access free with your account. You can get live support from Tasty Trade's experienced trade desk during trading hours. The platform includes back testing and risk analysis tools to help you plan ahead and manage that risk. Whether you're an active trader, a long-term investor, or planning for retirement, Tasty Trade has account types that fit your goals. Visit tastytrade.com/PFF today. Tasty Trade Incorporated is a registered broker-dealer and member of FINRA, NFA, and SIPC. So I think the most notable thing that we learned from the players at the podium here at the 2026 Scouting Combine is from Arvell Reese when he said, I'm an edge rusher. Now, he said he's going to go through linebacker drills as well. He said I'm an edge rusher, outside linebacker type of a player. But he kind of said, yeah, I'm an edge rusher. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If Arvell Reese is an edge rusher, I don't think I'm picking him in the top 10.
This is,
I don't think I'm doing it.
Here's the first. I mean, the skill set, is it in there? Sure. And he even, you've gone over this before, Max, about how his pass rush metrics aren't even necessarily at the level that, say, a Jalen Walker was last year.
No.
I think, listen, let's be honest about one thing real quick. The first person who told him to come here and say he's an edge rusher was his agent.
Yeah, because he wants to get more money.
Right. And they're thinking about the second contract.
But also, edge rushers go higher in the draft than linebackers.
They
also
do,
true.
Of course. Yes. Right. I get it. I get it.
Absolutely.
I get it.
To Dalton's point,
he's
though,
not a true edge rusher.
No, but Dalton's point, if you look at the pass rush win rates of guys who converted from off-ball linebacker to edge rusher, Abdul Carter's at 24% at linebacker, Micah Parsons 21%, Jalen Walker 17%, Arvell Reese is down at 13% this year. So he's not the pass rusher that those three guys were.
No.
And he's getting compared to those three guys. I still like the player a lot. Number 2 overall is very, very
And
high.
a lot of his pass rush stuff was also just like blitz stuff, too.
Yes.
They ran him around everywhere. So some of that pass rush win percentage might just be him, shaking up a guard that has no chance to keep up with him with lateral agility. So when I watched Arvell Reese, I liked him more as a play him in space a little bit more, seek and destroy type of an off-ball linebacker prospect who could obviously play on the edge for you. You feel comfortable with it, sort of like that Sam linebacker type of player.
Jahad Campbell kind of came out as last year.
Essentially, yes. But I think Campbell's better in coverage. But it's one of those things where it's just like, there's so much unknown for him as an edge rusher. And just like the conversation with Jalen Walker, who is good, I heard people be like, oh, yeah, like he's one of the best 5 players in this class. Let's take him in the top 5. And it's like, man, I'm not there with it. And I'm not there with Arvell Reese either. For as talented as he is, if he is an edge rusher, I'm not drafting him in the top 8.
And credit to him. I thought some interesting things he said. Number one, being humble as he is and really self-scouting, he even admitted himself. He goes, I'm not nearly all the way there as a pass rusher yet either. I'm still learning this position. And I like that he talked about, his defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, obviously former Patriots defensive coordinator, talking to him and showing him film of Jamie Collins from back in the day when they were playing with New England. And Jamie Collins had that hybrid feel, right? Off ball, yes, but you could put him off the edge a lot. And so there still is a hybrid role for Reese to play. Or we mentioned Jahad Campbell's done that a bit when you want to mix up the fronts, and you mentioned play the Sam and get down on the edge. Almost, I know we talk about him so much, but different types of players. But Nick Emenwari too. There's snaps of him playing off the edge. So like you can line up the front and do it and have him do it. Maybe he isn't an every down edge rusher. I think the idea behind Reese's stock being so high right now, and we're going to see it for the rest of the week, is he's such an athlete, man. I mean, this is just one of those versatile athletes on a football field that can do. The fact that we're talking about the possibility of him doing any or all of these things is extremely valuable, especially with how these more fluid, versatile players are being valued in modern defenses. That's the idea. Is let's take him, whoever does, and mold him into what we want him to be or what we need him to be. And the idea that he could do either at a high level is extremely valuable too.
Yeah, and look, as the more I'm thinking about it, the more it's like, okay, well, you look throughout the top 10. I mean, like, Washington at 7 still needs an edge rusher type of a player. In New Orleans at number 8 could potentially. The Chiefs at number 9. Like the Bengals maybe at number 10. So maybe me saying that like he's not going to be a top 10 player, that part is probably it's a little premature on my part. But I just liked him so much less as a full-time edge rusher from what his tape showed when he was at Ohio State. He to me is years away from the technical standpoint of winning as a pass rusher on the edge, whereas I felt like he could be a player who is a much more fluid and impactful athlete if you left him at the linebacker spots.
I was lower on him. I'm lower on him right now than I was on Jalen Walker last year. And I had Jalen Walker as like a top 15 player in the draft. I think Arvell Reese is like a top 15 player in the draft. It gets me a little queasy when he's talking about number 2 overall, which I think right now he's a betting favorite probably to go number 2 overall to the Jets right now. So it makes me a little uneasy when you start talking about that. But he's a very talented player who's going to blow up the drills at the Combine. I think he's going to be one of the most athletic players here at the Combine.
We'll talk about his 40 time here because there's a 40 time for him, and we'll talk about the over-under.
I don't even know what it is yet. It's probably going to be, what, is it nice? Or like,
it's higher than you
like 4.6?
Oh, no, it's lower than you think.
Okay.
Yeah, for Reese. Okay, it's lower than you think.
I was very
4.6s. No, I mean, he's going to blow by that. But
yeah, okay. But no, I like him a lot. Again, just in this draft with a couple other guys like Caleb Downs, Ruben Bain, that I'm more sure of. Like, if you're drafting Arvell Reese as an edge rusher, I'm more sure of Ruben Bain as an edge rusher than Arvell Reese. I'm more sure of David Bailey as an edge rusher than Arvell Reese. I get the potential with Arvell Reese, but potential gets GMs fired at the times too, so that makes me a little scared about him.
Thoughts on Peter Woods? Peter Woods' day. I know that you were by his podium, or at least you were reading the transcript from what he kind of was talking about and the questions that he was asked. Obviously, Peter Woods is another one of those guys who started the year pretty high on big boards and he didn't have as good of a year this past year, so I know that you wanted to kind of talk about him and his day. What he
when I was standing over there, I thought a really fascinating quote he had, because obviously his grade this past year was not as good. He had like a 73 PFF grade this year compared to like the 80s he had as a freshman and sophomore, and someone even asked him, like, hey, what happened this year? And he said, honestly, I didn't have as much of a versatile role in the defense this year. And actually, our numbers backed it up at PFF right now. If you guys remember, back in 2024, last year as a sophomore, he played edge rusher for Clemson to start the year a little bit. And then they switched him back to defensive tackle, but he was lining up at outside linebacker at times for Clemson. This year, he was either playing D-tackle or nose tackle, and that was it, really, for the Tigers. So that was a really fascinating answer. He also credited his teammates, Will Held's coming in, TJ Parker saying, hey, our offenses were double-teaming me, triple-teaming me at every single play. They made the plays instead of the ones I used to make, too. So he kind of credited that, and also him just not having a versatile role. I think that was a really intelligent answer, I thought, from Peter Woods at the podium.
And you're going to get that as a primetime defensive tackle, right? You're going to see 2 and 3 bodies on any given play, because you could see it. The plans, a lot of the plans against Clemson, I think it even started in last year's playoff game at the end of the 2024 season against Texas. Hey, we got to keep the football away from number 11. And the fact that even at the college level, opposing offenses respect him in that regard, they respect him that much, that just shows you the type of impact that he has every single play.
He even said that, quote, I am an offensive coordinator's worst nightmare. It was one of my favorite quotes he had at the podium, too. And then, like Dalton said right there, that's exactly what he was at Clemson.
Yeah, I still think that Peter Woods is one heck of a football player, man. And I know that the thoughts in the draft range are all over the place on him, but I do agree with what he said. I don't think he's just blowing smoke or making excuses. I think that he was very much more limited in what he was able to do and where he was able to line up, and I think that you saw that from his lack of production this year. So I still think this is one of the better football players in this class.
I think a guy he'll never blow you away statistically, but I think the question you ask yourself with Woods, this is the best way I can frame it, can he have the same impact on a defense that Byron Murphy has had in Seattle? Can he do, especially if you move him around a little more and he can play head up, he can play in different gaps, and even at times off the edge or in the 5 technique like you want. Can he have that same impact? If the answer is yes, he needs to go in the top 20 because he's the type of player. The reason he's an offensive coordinator's worst nightmare, D tackles like that, because they make everybody around him better. He makes all the other 6 players in that front 7 better around him. That's the key to it.
Yep, and that defines a good football player.
Yeah.
And one that should be drafted high. So we'll see. We'll see what his stock ends up being after. He's another guy where we've got a 40 time, and we'll discuss sort of how athletic we think he is. Before we get to those, because we're gonna go through a bunch of the over under 40 times that we have here from a couple of different books and betting services that we've been able to gather. Our game plan of the week, presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Fellas, I think the game plan of the week is whatever John Lynch needs to do to make sure that Trent Williams doesn't leave.
Yeah,
that's the game plan of the week.
I would say so.
Figure out the game plan.
They're not winning a Super Bowl without him.
No, they are not. I don't think that they are winning a Super Bowl without him. Just like every team win starts with a great game plan, your future should as well. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect you and your family so you can focus on winning today knowing that tomorrow is covered. Whether you're just starting out, building your dynasty, or looking to lock in long-term protection, their coverage options are designed to match your game plan. Visit westernsouthern.com/PFF to get your free life quote and start building your financial game plan today. Western and Southern, built to win, backed by over 130 years of helping people protect what matters most. All right, let's pull it up. Let's pull up some of these numbers that we got here. These are over under 40 times, of course, subject to change here for the 2026 Scouting Combine. Hold on, got to pull up the list here. I know one of them off the top of my head was Peter Woods. We can start with Peter Woods.
Sure.
4.83. 40-yard dash from the big fella.
4.83.
4.83.
If he runs better than that,
that'd be moving.
If he runs better than that, you know, we've done some mock drafts.
That
of
would
Peter
be
Woods
absolutely moving.
If he runs better than that, he might get top 10 consideration there.
Oh, 100%.
You talk about the explosiveness that would come with that.
The average for a D tackle, by the way, is 4.96. So that'd be really moving.
That's the average?
The average, yeah.
Okay.
I would take the
I would think
over.
it'd be slower than that.
Well, if
you're talking about any player from 280 all the way up to 350.
Because let's see,
5'1".
what would a
4.83 is
a 4.84 40-yard dash would be 95th percentile.
Yeah, I'm taking the over on that.
Yeah.
And I think Peter Woods is a crazy athlete.
I do too, but
I don't think he's more strength than
is that
fast.
What is that, like Kalijah Cansey territory?
No, I mean he was way faster. Like Braden Fisk.
Yeah.
Dude, I totally forgot Jordan Davis ran a 4.78.
That was freaky.
That's the best combine of all time, right?
Yeah.
Jordan Davis.
That's the best combine of all time.
Trayvon Walker went number 1 overall for his combine.
Yeah,
too.
but yeah.
Well, don't forget.
Jordan Davis is 6'6", 340.
Yeah, well, Trayvon Walker went number 1 overall basically because of his combine.
I mean, that's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
But I think Jordan Davis' combine is great.
Miles Garrett, I know, is up there.
Are we talking?
I think
he's greatest combine of all time.
Well, we could do that.
That's like Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox is close to a 4.8, 4.40 yard dash.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll take the over.
I don't think
I love Peter Woods.
No, I don't think so either. So I'm going with an over on that. We've got one on Jeremiah Love, which has actually moved since last night when I first looked at it. The line was a 4.39. Now it's a 4.4 flat. It's going the other way.
I'm taking 4.3s. We saw him with a 98-yard touchdown run in South Bend against Indiana. We saw what that looks like. I think Jeremiah. I'd go 4.3.
I'd go under.
I'm going with
I'd go under on that.
Give me Jeremiah at a 4.3.
I think he's getting in the 4.3s.
I'll say 4.3 flat is what it is.
4.4 flat.
4.4. Sorry, 4.4 flat.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll take
flat.
No. Yeah. I think someone said 4.3 flat originally. I was like, man, that's moving. But no, I'll take the under on that too.
I think he's going to go in the 4.3s.
When he opens it up, there was not another back in college football the last 2 or 3 years that when he opened it up that ran like
if he ran a 4.41, I'd be surprised. Honestly,
so you don't rip off multiple 90-yard runs unless you can really run.
Here's a very interesting one. Zachariah Branch, 4.35.
This is hard for me because I'm gonna be honest with you. Maybe he runs that. I didn't see very often where he ran a 4.35 on the field.
He's got track
speed.
I know,
right?
He's not wearing pads in the 40. I'm taking the.
You take the under.
I think
4.35.
I'm taking the under.
Because what was his track background? Let me look this up.
It was like a 10.2, I think. 10.2 or 10.3, I believe.
This is the part where the combine gets hard because those track guys start to really succeed.
Yeah,
I don't see 4.35 that often in
I don't see a lot on tape. I would agree with you.
They don't run him in pads around here.
He ran a.
That's why he was rated as a top 5 recruit overall coming out.
He ran a 10.33 100 meter
and a 21 flat
and a 21 flat in the 200.
Yeah, he's running under. Again, it's not pads. You're not wearing pads in the 40.
I'm going over just to disagree with Max. I'm doing We're going to have to keep track of this. I just want to disagree with Max.
Give me the under.
I think I'm going to go with the under.
And I like Zachariah Branch, too.
Yeah. Brennan Thompson. Brennan Thompson is potentially – hold on here. Hold on, Cowboy. He is 3.8. He is most people's pick to, if there is somebody to break the 40-yard dash record, it is Brennan Thompson, the wide receiver from Mississippi State. 4.29 40-yard dash. Which a 4.29 –
that's Chris Johnson territory, right?
4.29, I believe, is 97th percentile.
A 4.29 of any prospect in the draft, any position, is 99th percentile. Any player,
pretty
any
much
position.
Only receivers and corners.
Receivers and corners, yeah.
And Chris Johnson,
and Jordan Davis.
And of course, Jordan Davis.
Yeah, and of course,
weight adjusted, it's Jordan Davis. Yeah. He actually ran a 3.7.
Over or under? I'm saying over. You're never going to hear me say under to a 4.29.
I'll take the over.
Boy, he can
be safe.
He can fly. He can absolutely fly.
What was his in-game athleticism score?
Oh, fine.
I mean, it's got to be.
I'm going to go under. I'm going to be the fun one.
Are you?
I don't think he breaks because the record's what 4.22. I think his.
I thought it was 4.21, wasn't it?
4.21 was that Xavier Worthy?
Xavier Worthy was a 4.21.
He won't break the record. But I could see something like I could see getting under 4.2.
John Ross had a 4.
Gas score's a 99.3. He had 23 miles an hour this year.
I'm in.
Which is rare. Not a lot of players.
How many plays did he have of over 20 miles an hour?
23.
Oh my gosh.
He had 40 over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm in. I'm going under.
I might.
Screw. I'll take the under too.
Yeah, we'll take the under. We're all going under. We're going for fun.
He won't get to Xavier Worthy, but
we're going for fun there.
That.
I just said to myself, "You'll never hear me bet the under on a 4.29." I'm betting the under on a 4.29.
Wow, just lying on,
lying
right through your teeth.
A man of absolutely no principles. That's me right now here on the show. Kenyon Sadiq, 4.47.
Ooh, wow.
Ugh.
You make that face because you like the line?
Yeah, it's a pretty good line.
It's a pretty good line. I agree.
Well, he can run down the seam. He can. Who else? What other tight ends have we gotten in that range?
Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here.
There's only been 7 tight ends ever to run a 4.47 or faster.
Or faster?
7 ever.
Wow.
Vernon Davis. Look at Vernon Davis. Is that a 4.38?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vernon Davis
that's an all-time.
Just truly an all-time.
I'll go over.
That would be a 4.47 would be Kyle Pitts, Evan Ingram,
Devin Cook,
Jared Cook,
Noah
Fant, Greg Olson are sort of in this range, but even now you're getting into the 4.5s.
I'm gonna go over.
I'll go over. That's the top 7 mark ever.
I think I'm also gonna go over.
He might get close to some vertical records there.
Yes, I think
vertical's gonna.
He'll be above the 40 in the vert, but I'm gonna go over.
I'm going over too
with Kenyon Sadiq.
That's a good one. He's gonna be fun to watch.
Casey Concepcion.
Well, give me the number.
4.43.
That's tight.
That's a good number. That's a good line.
I'll go under for that.
It's a good line.
I think he could flirt with 4.3s, like a 4.38, 4.39. I think Casey could flirt with that. I'll go the under.
Take off on some of those punt returns.
That's what I'm saying.
It makes you believe.
I'll go under with that.
I'd go over. Man, that line's good.
I think 4.45 is like slow for
They might have that one as the most. That might be the most accurate one.
That's on. Said. That's right on. That's right on. They might be at the training facility.
I'm going to go. I don't even think it gets out of the 4.4s, but I'm going to go just slightly over. If he gets under that, you're going to hear him talked about like starting to get in the top 25 conversation.
I'll go under. I'm going to go under.
If he goes under that, there's going to be a real stock up on KC. That's going to be.
Too.
I'm going over. I still think he runs probably closer to a mid to high 4.4.
We got Arvell Reese here. 4. This one's going down, by the way. 4.9.
4.49. How many linebackers we got at 4.4?
I'm going to say over.
I'm going to say over. I'm going to
say over.
Yeah. I'll go under, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
There's a lot of names here.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. There's some players where I think Arvell Reese is faster.
And there's significantly, like, these are some 4.2s and 4.4.
Yeah, Peyton Wilson ran a 4.43.
You put it in that context.
I'm taking, give me the under on Arvell Reese.
Christian Harris?
I almost think he has to go under that to go, like, top 2 or top 3.
Well, 100%. Yes, he does.
So I'm going to take the under.
This list of names and how athletic he is, I'm going under as well.
Oh,
under
okay.
4.49.
We're switching it up?
I think so. Because some of these names, man, I'm like...
I'll go.
Bobby Wagner ran a 4.46. I didn't know that.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, then... All right, I'll go under too, I guess.
I
really didn't think that this was as achievable at linebacker.
Apparently so. There's some names here that I didn't expect to see 4.4 next year.
Here's an interesting one. Denzel Boston, 4.49.
Okay,
I'm going over on
so
that. I love Boston.
And I love Denzel Boston.
The point of reference for me here is his game reminds me a lot of Jaden Higgins, and I think I'm pretty sure that was exactly Jaden Higgins' 40 time last year.
Yeah, can we look that up?
I got it. Is he faster or slower than Jaden Higgins? Because I think they're
very similar. Jaden Higgins is faster.
I think they're very
4.47.
4.47
okay.
for Higgins.
I think Higgins is faster.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Then I'm going over.
I would go over.
Somewhere
in the 4.5.
Someone in the 4.5. If he runs 4.4s,
and I do think he's faster than people think for like a bigger receiver, but I don't think he's in the 4.4s.
I don't see 4.4s.
To me, a lot of how he gets open vertically is how he sets it up, more so than blazing speed, right? You talk about those deep posts and sometimes some stutter move on go balls, but he doesn't just run by you. And Higgins was a guy who didn't necessarily just run by you either.
Right.
That would be my cutoff because I think they're very, very similar players.
Do we have a line on Barry and Brown? Someone in the chat is asking for it.
Oh, that's a good one too. That's a 4.2 candidate.
Yeah.
No, there was, but I think I saw. Hold on, I think I saw it somewhere else.
He can fly. He needs a lot of work still as a receiver, but he's going to get drafted. There's some interesting kick and punt return type prospects here too. You talk about him, curious on Xavion Thomas, Caden Weechin from Iowa as well. We got some with the kick return kind of being back. I think something we're going to look at day 3 is just some more return specialists getting drafted. Those 3 guys in particular I think are going to be fun. And KC as well, wherever he gets drafted, Concepcion, he's going to be valuable as a punt returner too. Zachariah Branch is another one. If he's going to come in here and run a 4.2 with the track background, somebody's going to draft him even higher for the special teams value because we've seen that both at USC and now at Georgia.
Yeah.
What do we got? We got Barry on Brown here, Trevor. What are we looking at here?
I'm signing up for an account.
Oh wow, we're going through. We're working the process right now. We're going through the whole process. You really
look. Don't say I never did anything for the chat.
You will.
Honestly.
You will not be denied Barry on Brown's 40 projection.
Yeah.
Right
Oh
now.
look, the chat is asking.
The chat, of course. You never do anything. You never work this hard when we ask you.
Makai Lemon 4.5 is the next conversation that we're having here. 4.5 flat. 4.5
under.
flat.
I'll go under.
I'm gonna go under.
Oh.
I think there's a 4.4 in there.
Yeah.
Because he's going to get off the line. The only thing with him is he's smaller. He's kind of a shorter strider.
Right.
So can he open it up in that 20 to 40 yard range like some of these other taller guys?
Right.
But
I think that's a good line for him.
I think he can accelerate, man.
Yeah.
He can get off the ball. That 10-yard split might be one of the best in the group.
I'll go under. He's got a denser build for his size, but
Yeah.
I still think he's going to go in the 4.4 somewhere.
I agree with that. I think I'm in on that.
Yeah.
4.5 flat, man. The Makai Lemon disrespect. That's wide receiver 1 for some of us.
Let's see. All right. Okay. Hold on. We're in. Hold on. We're in.
Boom.
We're
Barry on
in.
Brown. Need it. The most important thing you've done today is this right here.
All right. Here we go. Watch it not be in here. I thought it was going to be. Watch it not be in here.
Oh, wow.
4.33.
Oh, see, he can
From our
fly.
friends over at Underdog.
When he opens it up, he can
What
fly.
was Brennan Thompson again? It was
4.29.
Yeah, I'm taking the under for Barry Brown. I think he and Brennan Thompson are the top 2 candidates to be the fastest this year. So I'm taking the under. I don't think he'll be that far away.
I'm going under also. He's going to get drafted as a kick returner.
Yeah.
That's going in round 6 or 7. That's going to happen. He can absolutely.
Dude, Underdog has
fly.
Peter Woods at 4.38 or 4.83.
Oh, I was
4.83.
Peter Woods at 4.38.
4.38.
I'm about to make an account for myself if it's 4.38.
You almost passed out over there. Sorry, brother.
You were almost giving out free money right there at 4.38. Easy now.
Yeah.
4.83. Wow. Yeah. Now I'm taking the over for Peter Woods.
Oh, if Peter Woods ran a 4.38, he's going ahead of Mendoza.
Jonah Coleman. Dude, Arvell Reese's time just went down while we were talking about this.
Oh,
so
look
people
what we
believe
did.
that
look
Reese is.
Look what you and your research did now.
Yeah,
Now we're losing money on you doing the research.
Okay, this is the last one, unless the chat has any other shout outs. They don't have obviously every player, but Jonah Coleman, 4.58 for Jonah Coleman.
5'8".
4.58.
4.58. I want to say over. I think he's one of those low to mid 4.6 backs like Kyron Williams. I don't think in the open field he's not a blazer like that.
Yeah.
Great back, love his vision, toughness,
I do too.
all of
I think
that.
he's a hell of a player.
4.58 is actually the average time for a running back too. I think he's slower than the average.
I don't think
back.
the long speed is there.
Yeah,
for that.
I think the long speed. I love Jonah Coleman. He's my RB2
a little bit.
So I think
a little bit over.
All right,
Yeah.
one more request. I know 'cause
Yeah.
the linemen are the fun ones, like Peter Woods.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a Caden Proctor number?
I do. That line has
Curious on
actually
that.
gone up from what we looked at it last night. It was a 4. It wasn't a 5. It was a 5.06. Now it is a 5.08 for Caden Proctor.
I'm so curious what he weighs in at.
that's a wait until you see the weight. But yeah,
Because I think that could even determine his position.
What did Amarius Mims run? Look up what Amarius Mims ran.
His was sick. Didn't he run a 4.8 or something? 4.8 something?
No, he wasn't that fast. No. No.
Did he run? I don't think he ran.
Maybe at his
Amarius Mims didn't
pro
run?
day, maybe.
Yeah, find the pro day. I thought he ran sub 5. I thought
Really?
Easy. I don't think
5:07.
Oh, did he? I thought he was faster than that.
Yeah,
for some
that's
reason.
the thing. And I think Amarius Mims is more athletic than Caden Proctor is.
Yeah, I can.
And Caden Proctor, if Caden Proctor weighs in anything above 350, him hitting anything short of a 5 flat would be incredible for him.
And honestly, I think that's a big thing for him. I think if he weighs 350 plus, you have the guard conversation. I really do. I'm with you. I love him as a tackle. The skills and all the measurements are there, but it's that part of it. Where it's like, can we just manage it a little bit better here?
All right, folks, there we go. Days 1 and 2, the NFL Combine. Recapped, given to you guys. Had a lot of fun over the last couple of days here on Radio Row. The next couple of shows that we will have, we will be recapping what we're going to see in the drill. So the drills start on Thursday. They're going to go throughout the evening, and then we will be back Friday morning for you guys, recapping what we saw in those drills, previewing a little bit of what is to come in that next day on Friday, the next group, and then we'll do the same on Saturday morning. We'll do the same on Sunday morning, and of course we'll recap all of it with a post-combine mock draft. For everybody behind the camera, producing the show, from Max Chadwick, Dalton, Wasserman, I'm Trevor Sikkema saying thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the PFF NFL Show. We will see you guys later this weekend.